All right, so basically, yeah, Gypsy Rose meets the Wolverine dude at the fair, and she's, you know, like wanting to, I don't know, she's very curious because he's being nice to her and stuff. So like they meet at the fair and everything, and Gypsy Rose's mom's like, you look very sick, honey. Maybe we need to go home. Who's this man you're hanging out with? Oh yeah. That's funny too. I'm just remembering this. She meets Hank Schrader from Breaking Bad, and Hank Schrader's like the most charming person of all time on this show, and he's very funny, and he's like complimenting Patricia Arquette and like asking her on a date and stuff, and she's being like, Patricia Arquette is so like weird. Like all she can like do is like, "Where's my daughter? She's probably having a seizure." Like she's convinced Gypsy Rose has everything. Like she's paralyzed, she has cancer, she is schizophrenic. I don't know she has everything. Well, and the mom like agrees to a date with Hank Schrader, but then she pulls her away from Wolverine, and she's like, "Who was that man with those claws?" Because she doesn't know what the fuck X-Men is. So Gypsy Rose, this is early in the episodes. This is like episode 2, episode 3. She starts like texting Wolverine, and Wolverine's like, "How you been?" Da, 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 da. And you know, he's always like doing these like flirty texts with Gypsy Rose. It's a little weird. The guy's choices are a little questionable in this, even though, you know, she's not, you know, she's of age and everything. It's still very deranged. But, you know, he might just be being nice, but he's being real flirty. Eventually, like, Gypsy Rose takes the text the wrong way. Like, Wolverine's not acting on this. He's not, like, a full-on predator. He's, like, just like, "Oh, good morning. You know, I bet you're looking good." I don't know what these texts are saying, but, you know, they're not too graphic or dirty or anything. It's just general stuff. Gypsy Rose takes it the wrong way, and she goes like dressed up over to his house and like shows up at his house. And they didn't really explain this, but she shows up to his house, and like Wolverine's there, and he's all drunk, and Gypsy Rose just walks into his house. He's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And Wolverine's all drunk. He just got home from the bar, and he has a black eye. Like, he got in a bar fight, and she's like, "Oh, honey, let me get you some eyes. Isn't it nice, somebody caring for you?" Like, she's acting like her mom, except with a baby voice. And she's like, "Oh, you shouldn't be walking." You know, she's, like, doing all that stuff. And I guess she got in a fight with Patricia Arquette right before she left. And, like, Patricia Arquette goes over to... Gypsy ends up walking. That's it. Like, she already knows she's not sick and stuff, but she actually like walks to Wolverine's house without there was no muscular dystrophy. She walked fine, but yeah, I guess the mom saw the chair in the room, and she's like, "Oh my God, she knows." So she went over there and used her manipulation tactics. She's like a master to tell Gypsy Rose, "You can do whatever you want, Gypsy Rose. Maybe nobody's too sick for love." Like, she said a line like that, and Gypsy Rose like, "Okay, well, Wolverine, I'm gonna see you again." And this guy is so, like, he has a concussion, and he's drunk. He's like, "What am I doing?" I'm like, that was an awful situation. But, we move on. Gypsy Rose continues to find out that her mom's, like, totally weird. And the neighbors find out, too, like, with the Gypsy Rose thing. Like, there's a scene where they're in the mall, and, Patricia Arquette is stealing with Gypsy Rose, like using Gypsy Rose as a decoy, like stealing like I don't know, like pointless shit, like wallpaper and stuff, and putting it in Gypsy Rose's wheelchair. And Chloe Sevigny sees it from the second story of the mall, and it's like, "I knew you were weird as hell. I don't feel bad for you anymore." But all right, so here comes the best part of the story. We'll pretty much end it after this. She's on the internet chatting online to guys, and she meets somebody, and she starts video chatting with this guy, and he's being really weird. Like, it shows up. She's like, "Yeah, I'd love to video chat with you," and then he turns on his video chat, and it's just like this. "Hi. You want to show some skin?" And, like, she thinks it's, like, the most charming thing ever. I knew this guy was, like, really deranged as soon as I saw his video cam expressions. So, like, they're chatting, and he's very autistic, and like within the first, you know, conversation video chat session, he's like, maybe you would like these pictures. It's called S&M, and it's like chicks getting choked and stuff, and like she's like, wow, that seems interesting, you know, is still being all Gypsy Rose like, and he's like, yeah, it is. And then like he starts masturbating on cam with like that, you know, this is all going on, but like so they keep on chatting, and they keep doing them. He loves his masturbation sessions, and she's like, you should come and see me. And he eventually does go out to see them, and he can't pull the trigger or something. Like, no, they go to a movie theater, and like they have this whole setup. She's like, and you can meet my mother. And like he's talking about his dark side always. Like there's like his dark side, his name's like Cameron, and his dark side, his name's Steve. And he's like, you don't know what Steve would do in this situation. And like whenever he's about to whack off, he's always like, I think Steve's about to come out. And she's like, oh no, not Steve. But yeah, so like he's acting like he has a badass alter ego. In retrospect, maybe he did, because he killed the mom. But yeah, so she's like, yeah, just meet us at the movie theater, and you can meet my mother and all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, I will go there. You know, he's like very autistic, like that type of talking. And they show up at the movie theater, and he shows up there, and he's being very weird. Like, it gives a little backstory on him too, just to like his daily life. Like, he actually lives with Juliette Lewis and her awesome husband. Like, they're pretty cool. But yeah, so the kid goes there, and it's so weird. Like, Cameron's like following them around the movie theater and sitting behind them, and Patricia Arquette is getting mad the whole time. She's like, why is she sitting next to us? And Gypsy Rose's like, Mom, maybe he just wants to not be alone. And he's like following them around the theater. It was so cringe. You gotta see that shit. It was so funny. And then by the end, he confronts them, and he's like, hello, I am Cameron. She goes, get the hell away from me, you creep. Why you trying to sit next to little girls? And he like goes, oh, and he like gets all awkward, and nothing happens. And then he goes home without meeting them or something. Or no, maybe he does introduce himself, but she rejects him again. So then Gypsy Rose gets in some more fights with the mom after Cameron goes home, and she's like, do you think Steve would do something about this? And he goes, yes, I do think Steve would do something about this. And, okay, so yeah, he goes there and he kills the mom. And then they go back to Cameron's life. And it's like, Juliette Lewis is like white trash with the husband and stuff. Like, they wear NASCAR gear and shit. And they're like eating pizza. I don't know, you got to see it for yourself. But they were good characters. Yeah, so then the cops come. They arrest them up. And that was the end of it. As I said, it's a slow open, so like the first half of this series, I think it was only 8 episodes. Like the first 4 episodes in this series is very good. Like, it will keep you hooked, it'll get you awkward, it'll make you laugh. And yeah, really good visually, all that stuff, good writing, good acting, really good acting. This autistic guy, Cameron/Steve, very good. I was very impressed with his acting. Also, Patricia Arquette, props. Gypsy Rose, I forgot your name. Joey King. Look at that. Joey King, great job. All right. The Act, Hulu original miniseries, is getting, out of 5 stars, 3 stars. That's a solid score. 3 stars for The Act. Guys, yeah, I think you should check this out. It's a great, like I said, good miniseries for if you're looking for something to watch lately. All right, well, guys, till next time, final Game of Thrones coming up. The writing on that show is so great. Can't wait for it. Hope you guys get to watch that too, and I'll see you in the next review.